All right, so to start off, I'm riding her in the halter today. That's only going to be for 1 or 2 rides. And a lot of times it depends on the horse whether I decide to ride in the halter the first time or ride in a snaffle. But within the next couple of rides, she'll be in the snaffle. Today, I really just want her feeling comfortable going forward. So that's what we're going to start with. So in thinking about climbing on her, I want to make sure, just like when she got here a couple weeks ago, we make sure that she understood how to stand parked. Because when I climb up there, the first thing she needs to do is stand, not take off. So I'm going to give her a good pull and a good push, make sure she can get settled in. Okay, then I'll put my foot up in the stirrup. And she says, "What are you doing there, dude?" I'm going to make sure I have a hold of the mane and the reins. And something you want to do too when you get up in the saddle is drive your knee into their side, okay, which is going to keep your toe out of their side. Okay. If she's okay with me here, I'm going to go ahead and climb on. Okay. Now something I'm going to do right here, just for a moment, is keep her head flexed to the left. If she's offering to keep it there, great. Okay. Now I'm going to switch to the other side. A lot of times, the first few times you do this, or even for the first couple months, when you switch eyes, it can really scare them. Okay, she wasn't affected, so that's great. A lot of the groundwork you see us do too, it really sets them up to switch eyes. So you prepare them for that. But still, it's at a different view. You can do it. You can prep all you want on the ground. And just the beginning of this month, I had a Mustang go home, and it took him every bit of a couple months to get over switching eyes from up in the saddle. They can see you in one eye, and when they see you out of the other eye, the whole picture changes. Good. Okay. So from this flex, the first thing I want to do is see if I can sit up tall and get her back feet to take a step. Okay. The reason I like the back feet to go, we have somebody walking horses around outside, which is fine. It's just an opportunity for me to provide her with safety, comfort, leadership, responsibility. But the reason I want to go from a flex to can you move your back end over is because it gets the back feet moving first. And that's where your forward motion comes from. And if you notice there, when she started moving her feet, I just took the pressure off. That's how I'm gonna start stepping her off. Okay, she's more paying attention to that horse outside. But when her back feet start moving, I'm gonna take the pressure off. And that's gonna tell her to move forward. If I were to climb up here and just start kicking and squeezing, especially this being her first time with a rider, you could cause them to suck a bunch of air up into their lungs and the ribs and brace up against you. There, and those feet start moving. Okay. And all this, I just leave her be once the feet are moving. And with what you're seeing here in the halter, this is really why I'll only ride them, and only certain ones, a couple times, 1 or 2 times, no more than the halter, before I put them in a snaffle. Okay, when her feet are moving forward, I sit relaxed. There she goes. Yep. She needs to give her nose and step her hindquarters around. Give her nose, step her hindquarters around. And she gets a little lost or focuses on horses outside. She stops her feet. I take a hold of her and bend her around. Really what I'm looking for is comfort moving forward. In a little bit here, I'm going to start adding some life. Saying, let's get moving out. Okay, I'm going to start adding some life here. And depending on the horse, oh geez. Depending on the horse, you know, and your confidence level, be aware of what you do, okay? Because right there, I spanked her on the rear end, and that made her pretty nervous, right? If I would have clamped up there, I could have had things go south pretty quickly. So know what you're okay with, okay? And if you're not okay with what might happen there, or if you know that horse is going to be upset by that, maybe spend some more time taking the nose back and forth. Taking the nose back and forth like I'm doing here. Okay. So I'm going to pick this up again because she's really lost me. But I'm ready to ride what she throws at me. There we go. Good. Take her head around to this side. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing again here. I'd like you to keep rolling. So for her first ride, I'm really just looking for comfort moving forward while carrying a rider. So yesterday, it was her first time wearing a saddle. Today's her first time carrying a rider in the saddle. So just like yesterday, just comfort. So right now she's getting a little lesson in, she's really drawn towards this horse that's outside. Really curious about that and kind of losing me a little bit. So when she's down there, you may notice she's hitting a little bit of pressure, right? And when she's coming over here, it's going to feel a little quieter. Okay, so she's also getting a little lesson in tuning in up here. Because eventually, pretty quick here, we're going to want to guide her where we want to go. But that's got to be, she's got to understand that our ideas are pretty good. Okay, she wants to be out here with this horse. I'm going to say, well, I want to go over here. I'm not going to pull her over there or fight with her to get her over here. I'm just going to make that side where she wants to be, with that herd outside, a bad spot to be. So right here, there's no pressure. Just allowing her to go forward. And she's looking out the window there, losing me. I'm just putting a little pressure on. Okay, now there's no pressure over here. Now everything's quiet. See it? Now she's looking out that door again. I'm going to put a little pressure on. Now I'm going to be quiet. So we can see if we can start having her find some comfort over here with you guys. And maybe a little less comfort over here with the horses. Okay. You see me sitting back on young horses a little bit, you know? That's for a reason. Okay, she's finding some comfort over here out that door. I'm gonna say, that's not where I want you to be. Yeah, that's it. You see her slow down by you guys this time? Now she's starting to figure out where I want her to be. You see her cut that short? Yes, sir. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Now she's slowing down over here by you guys. Okay. On this first ride, on these first few rides, really, I'm not going to use my legs to turn them. Okay, it can be too much information. It can also cause them to suck air up into the lungs, which can cause all sorts of bad things you don't want to happen. But really, she's got enough information going into her brain right now. She's still figuring out the saddle. She's got me up here for the first time. She's got reins attached to her head. She's trying to balance and carry me around. The last thing I need to do is add legs to this. Even reins, I try to just do what I can, as little as possible on the start. You saw me bending her left and right a bit, getting her back end moving around. But once she's moving forward, I want her to find comfort going forward. And then I can start adding reins in to guide her. But if you do too much of that too soon, you start adding reins in, and they think that rein means stop, or if they feel like they can't go forward. And you don't want that energy coming to a halt either. Making sense? So adding too much rein, too much leg too early on can be detrimental to your progress. So today's main goal is just comfort going forward. She's slowing down even more over here. It's good because what she's been doing is drawing towards the herd outside. There's no herd over here. So I'm providing her with that safety, comfort, leadership to be where I want her to be. Okay, if we can teach her that her safety, comfort, leadership, responsibility is with us and not out there, we're going to have a better chance getting her going where we want her to go. So I'm going to bend her nose to the fence over here. Bend her nose over here. Good. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, she did good.
So I'll do some flexing back and forth into the fence here until she wants to get my leg off of the fence. So if I pull her into the fence, see how it takes my leg away from it? I don't want her on the fence when I climb off. That'd be pretty dangerous, wouldn't it? Cool. All right. You guys have questions on that stuff?
No, sir. You said that plain as day. If I missed that, I don't know.
Now we're going to see, you remember how I asked her to start moving by bending her head and releasing when her feet move? Now I'm going to bend her head and start to release when her feet stop. So she'll find the relief when the feet stop this time. We'll see if she can just find that stop. There she goes. Isn't that cool? Yep. They're always looking for relief, So if she's finding relief with her feet moving forward, that's how we got started. I want her to find relief with her feet coming to a stop. It teaches her to stop. It's the same lateral bend, isn't it? Okay. I need her to see my foot here before I swing it. Just climb off of her. You can imagine a horse that's not accustomed to seeing a foot swinging over here. All right, what could go wrong there? I've had experience doing this a time or two. Cool. That was good. All right. Do you have any questions on that, Kristen? Do you have any questions on that?